following is a presentation of DangerZone Productions.
Listen all you motherfuckers!
Twisted Metal.
I don't even know where to start with this game. It's not new, it's not original, it's really not even that interesting. But what it is a racing game that's trying to hook people in with its promises of death, destruction, chaos, and mayhem. And while the destruction part is pretty cool, it does wear thin pretty damn fast with its stupid rules, its unimaginative storylines, and absolutely no payoff whatsoever for the various different characters you can play as.
Probably the one thing that makes this game so hard for me to review is the fact I don't like racing games. I hate them. I can't stand them. Gran Turismo, Juice, you name it. If it's a racing title, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't even want to look in its general direction. To me, sitting on your ass playing a racing game is the equivalent of sitting on your ass watching NASCAR. And I think we all know what that's like.
Look, they're making a left turn! Oh, they're making another left turn! Oh, they're making another left turn! I wonder what's going to happen next! Let's go to commercial. Come back in 10 minutes. You ain't gonna miss a thing!
Am I right? And it's not just games that are about racing. I can't stand side quests in games that involve racing. Those stupid racing mini-games in Saints Row. The stupid foot races in Assassin's Creed. If it's a race, I don't want to worry about that. In Saints Row, I want to worry about shooting people, not racing cars. In Assassin's Creed, I want to worry about stabbing people in the throat with a knife, not trying to beat people in a foot race. Okay? And like I said before, this game tried to lure people in by saying, oh, it's not just a race, it's a death race. No, not that death race. This one says, you get a chance to roll through all kinds of different places in souped up automobiles, blowing the shit out of people. Sounds interesting. But where it falls on its face is with its stupid characters, its lame rules, and like I said before, no payoff at the end. Look, the game allows you to choose between 3 different characters to play their story mode. You can either play as the nostalgic character who has become synonymous with the Twisted Metal series, Sweet Tooth the Clown. You can play as this biker dude named Mr. Grimm, or you can play as this sadistic supermodel known as Dollface. And you know what? It does not matter which one of these you choose. In the end, you're going to feel robbed. And you're going to feel even more robbed to the point where you're going to want to go kill a bum in the street if you actually had the testistical fortitude to sit through all 3 story modes. It's not worth it. Don't waste your time. And I'll tell you why in a second. But first, let's get down to business and talk about the rules of these levels. Because not all of them are just shoot and kill. Some of them have really up stupid rules that don't make any sense in any context of the word.
So it doesn't matter who you choose in this game, because the story pretty much is the same regardless of who you pick. You've got this event called Twisted Metal that's being run by this mysterious guy named Calypso, and if you win, he'll grant you any wish you desire. I don't know, maybe he's a genie or something, who knows. So, your first couple events are pretty straightforward. Just roll through cities, kill your opponents. Pretty simple. Then the game starts getting a little sadistic. For instance, one of the missions is still kill your opponents, but here's the thing, you gotta do it within a laser light cage, and if you leave the cage, you start getting this counter that goes down, which is called your grace period. And if your grace period runs out, it's instant death. Now, to some of you gamers, this doesn't sound too hard, but here's the catch. When you finally get back inside the cage and your counter stops, the motherfucker never ever goes back up. So if you're winning and you've only got like 2 seconds on your grace period and Cuz finally decides to move the cage, which he will do every few seconds, you're you can't win the match. Why not reset the grace period to give players a better chance to get there? Do you have any idea how frustrating this is? And then, if that's not enough, then you get to a level where you have to kill this unbelievably huge big rig called the Juggernaut.
Yes, the Juggernaut!
If this level doesn't make you want to stick your in a weed whacker, then nothing else will. For starters, this big motherfucker does not show up on your map at all, which makes it hard enough to find. But if that's not bad enough, every few minutes this thing drops another combatant onto the screen. So not only do you have to find and contend with this thing, which even Calypso admits that it's damn near impossible to destroy, but you've got to deal with a bunch of other trying to shoot rockets up your and it just keeps going on and 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 on.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Where was I?
The only other level I can recall being especially nut-grinding is the one entitled Diablo Pass. This one is, in fact, an actual death race. You see, each car has been outfitted with a bomb, and you actually have to race from point A to point B. My suggestion, don't even with trying to kill your opponents. Concentrate on getting to the end of the stage, because all you really have to do to win this stage is get from point A to point B, hit the detonation switch, and send all your competition on the highway to hell. End of story. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. Oh, trust me. If only.
I've pretty much gone over the lameness of the rules of this game and how aggravating it is. But as aggravating as they are, one of the more disappointing aspects of this game has got to be the characters. Oh my God, these people. And you would think that a game with such simplistic design and such chaotic control would at least have some characters that make it worth playing. And like I said, it doesn't matter which one of these three people you play as, the ending is going to piss you off, because the ending is essentially the same for all three of them. Once again, I'll get to that in a minute. But besides the basic stories to each character being the same, the characters themselves are essentially the same. All they are is, one after another, a cardboard cutout of the last. They're about as flimsy as this poster right here. That's how stupid they are. Let's take a look at these people, okay? You'll see what I mean.
The first person we've got to take a look at in this game is the one that made it famous, Sweet Tooth the Clown. Sweet Tooth is a serial killer. And he's joined the Twisted Metal competition in hopes that Eclipso will help lead him to that one victim that got away. And she also stabbed him in the eye with a pair of scissors. I'd probably want to kill the too if she had done that. But here's the thing. Sweet Tooth, before going off the deep end, used to be a simple family man. He drove an ice cream truck for a living and had a pretty nice family. He went by the name Marcus Kane. And yet, one day, just decided to go completely over the top and insane, donned the mask of the psycho Sweet Tooth, and went on his killing spree. And who was his first victims? Why, his family, of course. Which means his daughter is the one that got away. Our next cardboard cutout on this walk of shame is Mr. Grimm, a biker serial killer. Yeah, I know, another serial killer. Who would have thought? But you see, unlike Sweet Tooth, Mr. Grimm has a reason for why he does the things that he does. You see, back in the day, Mr. Grimm was actually the name of his father, and he was a famous stunt bike rider until an unfortunate accident caused him to lose his life. So now, Mr. Grimm lost his father, and apparently his sense of morality, so he goes around and kills people, I guess to fill the void or some other psychological bullshit reason. So, obviously, his wish to Eclipso is to go back in time and save his father's life. And our last contestant on this roller coaster ride of retardation is Dollface, a supermodel wannabe by the name of Christy Sparks, who was not afraid to stamp out the competition in order to be the greatest supermodel. Unfortunately, the bad karma fairy caught up with her and caused her to get into a car wreck. Sure, she only walked away with a little scratch, but for this psychotic model wannabe, one little scratch just wasn't enough. She sought the assistance of a doctor who put a mask on her and guaranteed that she'd be beautiful if she just wore it for a few days. Problem was, the doctor skipped town and now she's stuck in the mask. So her wish is to be the world's greatest supermodel.
Which just goes to show how stupid Dollface really is. I mean, just because you put on a mask doesn't mean you're going to look awesome. It's just stupid.
Despite all these stupid characters, the one that actually does stand out amongst them all, who actually does have more of a third dimension to him, is the one we really don't even learn that much about, Eclipso, the one who's hosting the Twisted Metal tournament. There are speculations throughout the game that Eclipso might actually be the devil, and to be honest, the creepy background and sinister look in his eye certainly is not helping his case any, let me tell you. Honestly, when I heard, though, that he granted wishes, I honestly thought that maybe he was that freaky dude from the Wishmaster series. Now that would have been an interesting twist.
You cannot die. But if it's any consolation, sweet Alex, that hurt like hell.
But regardless of all that, the game is still unredeemably bad. I'm sorry, it is. Now, I've heard that the Twisted Metal games before it aren't that bad, but I never played them, so I can't make a very fair judgment on them. And like I said before, you want to know what the worst part about this game is? It's not even the gameplay, it's the ending of the story modes. Remember I said I was going to get to this earlier? Alright, major spoilers here, so if you actually want to play the games, and trust me, you really shouldn't do it, I'm going to tell you how they end. First you got Sweet Tooth. Remember he said he wanted to find the one that got away? Well, he finds the one that got away alright, about 6 feet under in a coffin. That's right. Turns out the woman that he's been looking for the last 10 years killed herself 10 years ago. So Eclipso teleports Sweet Tooth into a coffin. He's dead. Mr. Grimm, he wanted to go back in time and save his father. A noble cause. So what does Eclipso do? He teleports him right in the middle of their truck while they're on their way to an event. Naturally, if you saw this guy in the back of your truck, I think you'd probably freak the hell out too. And it causes a wreck. His father dies anyway, and just to add insult to injury, the younger version of him shoots him with a gun. I do like the line, though, that Mr. Grimm gives at the end of it, saying that if it had been him, he would have shot the son of a too.
You never knew I knew about it.
Kind of funny, actually. And then, of course, you got Dollface, who, when she finally gets her wish, is kind of conflicted between wanting to be a supermodel and wanting to get that damn mask off. Personally, I would have gone with the mask. But no, she thinks she can still be an awesome supermodel, still wearing the mask. So she asks Eclipso to put her on the biggest runway of them all. And I'll give you about one guess to figure out how that turns out. Yeah, that's right. He puts her on a runway, all right. An airport runway, and she gets run over by a 747. And if I had a nickel for every time I had to say that. So, in the end, it doesn't matter which one you choose. it all ends the same. Eclipso over their wishes and ends up getting them killed. Are you serious? I mean, you can forgive Controls if it's got a good story, but it doesn't. All three stories are essentially the same thing with the exact same outcome every single time. So why would you waste your time on this? Play a different game. Play one that doesn't suck. And as for Eclipso, the guy's a real son of a if you ask me. I mean, if he had more dimensions on him, maybe a little bit more into his character, maybe he would seem a little bit more interesting and the game might seem a little better to play. But we don't learn anything about Eclipso other than the guy might actually be the devil. So him. And you want to know something? The only reason I played this game was because my friends were like, oh dude, you gotta play this game. Even if you don't like racing games, you'll like this game. And that's why I hate my friends. Now all this talking about wishing and stuff, you want to hear what I wish? Did I happen to hear someone mention wish? Who the f*** are you? I am Eclipso. You're Eclipso. But of course, who are you expecting? Tommy Wiseau? I am Eclipso, and I have come here, Danny So, to grant you your wish. Really? You're gonna grant me any wish that I want? Don't you have to win your stupid little Twisted Metal contest first? Ordinarily, yes. But you already had to sit through the game. I believe we can both agree that that is, in and of itself, challenging enough. Okay. Okay. I got a wish for you. I wish that you would take this game and shove it right up your ass. Done. Nothing happened. Oh, but it has. As we speak, the game rests comfortably betwixt my buttocks. It is both unbelievably painful and unbelievably exciting at the same time. Ew. You know, if I had to make a real good wish, I'd wish for you to get the hell out of here. Until next time, I'm Dangerous Danny South, and I'll be kicking it here in the Wish Granted.
But I'm the Juggernaut!